A glass of milk before bed is something I haven't had in about 20 years, so imagine my absolute delight when I learned of Sleepwell, a magic nighttime drink that is designed to knock both me and my inner child unconscious. Hi folks, Daniel here. In this video, I'll be taking a look at the 3 flavours of Sleepwell milk and testing it for a week to see if it works. As somebody who doesn't generally sleep well, I've decided to start looking into products that may help me. I stumbled across this product by accident and had never heard of it before. Is it a hidden gem or something that is best left undiscovered? A quick disclaimer, I bought this product with my own money and all of the following opinions are my own. Also, I'm not a scientist or a sleep expert or whatever, I'm just a very tired individual on a quest to find tools and tricks to get a better night's kip and reporting what I find along the way. What is it? Sleepwell is a nighttime drink made with 3 ingredients: milk, honey and valerian root. It is designed to be drunk 30 minutes before you go to bed and can be served hot or cold. The 200ml carton counts as 1 serving and contains 452 milligrams of valerian. Valerian is a herb that has been used for centuries to treat sleep disorders, anxiety, migraines and epilepsy. It is commonly called nature's Valium, but the research is very foggy about exactly how it works. As with any natural herbal remedy, individual tolerance will vary, and some reviews I read mentioned feeling dizzy and nauseous after drinking Sleepwell. It doesn't explicitly say how often you should use the product, but they do mention that it should be included as part of your bedtime routine, which hints at everyday use. I popped an email over to their team, who said, "Some of our customers do drink it every night, but that's not how we present it. It's primarily for those times when you may be feeling a bit anxious or excited, and hopefully that wouldn't be every night. At the end of the day, it's a very comforting bedtime drink though, so we can understand why people make it part of their routine." How much did I pay? I ordered 18 of these 200ml cartons. This came to £25.65, including delivery, which is around $35. With an average price of £1.40 per carton, it would mean £511 or $706 for a year's supply. Where can I buy it? The Sleepwell website shows the stockists here in the UK, but you can also order it through their online store. In stores and supermarkets, you can find them in packs of 3 or larger 1-litre cartons. The online store only stocks the smaller cartons, but Sleepwell says that the 1-litre cartons will be available too if there is sufficient demand for it. What does it taste like? Short answer, pretty good. I bought every flavour and my favourite was definitely the vanilla. It tasted like a slightly weak milkshake. You could tell that it was UHT milk rather than fresh, but I didn't mind that personally. In fact, my wife raised this as a positive point because it took her back to being a kid. The chocolate tasted better than it should. In this day and age, you can get some pretty amazing chocolate milkshakes, so the competition is fierce. The Sleepwell chocolate flavour was sweet, mild, and a solid 3 out of 5. The oat drink was a close third. It scored points for being vegan and had the trademark, slightly savoury oat milk taste. I asked Sleepwell if any new flavours are planned. Oat is their newest option, and they're hoping to introduce more next year. Does it work? I tested Sleepwell over a 5-night period, drinking a 200ml carton 30 minutes before I went to bed. I tracked my sleep using the Sleep Cycle app and paid particular attention to how long it took me to fall asleep, total time asleep, and how I felt the next morning. As you can see from the graphs, my sleep was quite disturbed, but I averaged 7 hours and 22 minutes of sleep over the course of the experiment. It took 53 minutes on average to fall asleep, so it definitely didn't knock me out immediately. I felt fairly well rested for 3 of the mornings, but groggy on the other 2. An important thing to bear in mind is, when I was testing it, I thought that it was designed for everyday use. As I mentioned earlier, it technically isn't, so a consecutive 5-night period perhaps isn't the fairest test. Is it safe? For the most part, yes. While the research around the effectiveness of valerian is cloudy, the worst side effect seems to be dizziness and nausea. I reached out to Sleepwell and they said that there shouldn't be any long-term side effects. They were also careful to point out that it isn't a medicine, but a food. so any serious underlying sleep issues should be advised on by a medical professional. Another thing to bear in mind is that alcohol can increase the sedative effect, so be sensible Susans if you're planning on having a shandy or two. How long do they last? Because the milk has been ultra heat treated, it has a long shelf life. My cartons had an average best before date of 5 months from the date of delivery, giving me plenty of time to use them. Conclusions. Overall, I feel that Sleepwell milk is a great addition to your bedtime routine. I'm not sure how effective the Valerian was from a chemical point of view, but it definitely made bedtime more intentional, and I found myself less likely to be watching a screen late at night. Here are 3 things I didn't like, and 3 things I did. First, the not so great stuff. 1. Opening the tab on some of the cartons required a knack so as not to spill milk everywhere. 2. I felt quite groggy on some of the mornings, rather than well rested. I'm not sure whether this was sensitivity to Valerian on my part, but it meant I wasn't as alert during the day as I usually would be. 3. I'm not sure that the price is low enough to make this a cupboard staple. I couldn't buy larger containers, so had to spend more on the individually packaged cartons. In all fairness, Sleepwell is a young brand, and their distribution will be somewhat limited in these early stages, so hopefully the cost per unit will be more accessible in the future. And to leave on a positive note, here are the things I did like. 1. The taste. It was great for all 3 flavours. The oat drink was excellent, which is sometimes rare for the vegan option of a product. 2. The shelf life. Because the milk is ultra heat treated, it's easy to keep them in stock and take with you while you're travelling. 3. The ritual aspect. Setting 30 minutes aside before bed makes you far more likely to stop watching a screen and wind down properly. So, would I recommend it? For the price, it's definitely worth a punt. The science is a bit foggy around Valerian, but keeping a carton in the cupboard for particularly sleepless nights may give you that extra bit of help you need. If you found this video interesting, consider subscribing. It will keep you in the loop for the sleep products I'll be reviewing in the future, and will reassure me that I'm not just shouting at this fish. Liking the video is apparently a good thing too, so if the mood takes you, go crazy. And finally, if you are struggling to sleep, try listening to the Go Back to Sleep podcast. I read from a non-fiction book each week, which is absolutely as boring as it sounds, and may help you nod off. I'm Daniel, and this is Go Back to Sleep.